Alright, this is my presentation on a lesson from experience. This is my audience. Have 9 adults in attendance, and Cody is going to be my cameraman for the day. Good there?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I did my lesson on experience on not giving up on people. Just kind of a little bit of background. All of us have worked in a position, or most of us have worked in a position where we've had to deal with somebody that's irritating, somebody that gets on your nerves, doesn't want to follow the directions. You'd really rather these people probably quit, or they made you want to quit. I had the opportunity working offshore as a crane operator. I was a supervisor over other personnel. And I had one person in particular that was very irritating to me. But I learned a lesson. I kept on and worked with him repeatedly and learned a good lesson about not giving up on people from this young man. He started out there, young kid, 22, 23, didn't want to follow orders, didn't want to listen. I could see potential in him. He was a good hand when he wanted to be. And he and I butted heads quite a bit, trying to get him to do what he needed to do. Didn't always work out. But I started noticing a pattern with him. The first few days that we were there, he was horrible. Couldn't focus, couldn't listen. And I started asking, what is going on with this guy? What can I do differently to help him? And in talking with him, I found out that while he was home, he was drinking a lot, using drugs. So when he would come to work, he was suffering the consequences of that, or still the effects of using the drugs. So I spent a lot of time talking to him about trying to get his life straight and get away from the drugs. And, I told him that he could be a good hand, saw good potential in him, but he just didn't want to listen. We showed up for work one morning and had a drug test, and of course this hand didn't show up. And I thought he was just avoiding the drug test. Come to find out, once we got to work, he had actually had a wreck. He had wrecked his truck, totaled his truck on the way to work, and was in the hospital. So he was out of work for a few weeks. And when he came back, he said that he had found out that his girlfriend was pregnant as well. So he had a lot of things going on in his life that were really affecting him. But he stopped and talked to me and said that he wanted to change, needed to straighten up for his girlfriend and his new baby that was coming along. So I took the time and spent with him and talked to him, shared with him my own experience in dealing with alcohol and trying to get away from alcohol and the effects of alcohol. And after a while, I started seeing him improving. His attitude improved, his work ethics improved, and other people started noticing that he was improving and doing much better. He started getting promotions and moving up the ladder. Finally, he moved into a higher position as an assistant driller and was being trained. He wasn't having the problems with drugs and alcohol. His home life was getting a lot better. And he did quit the company, but he went to another company as a driller. And to this day, that has been 5 years ago, and to this day, he still occasionally will call me just to check in, tell me how he's doing. He has married the girl that was pregnant. They have 2 kids together now, and he's able to hold a job. And every time I speak with him, he thanks me for spending the time with him and talking with him and giving him the opportunity to change and do better. So, just a nice story about sometimes these irritating people just need a little helping hand. You might be that person that can offer them that chance. Of course, it's not just about you. They have to want to change. They have to want to do better. But in this instance, I was there at the right time and in the right place to help this particular individual. So just a little lesson I learned about not giving up on people, even though